Welcome back to the 4Foot10 Podcast. I'm your host, Ariel Julie, and I am 4Foot10. Today, my guest is the incredibly talented, multi-talented comedian, singer, performer, all-around artist, the Queeny bitch.
Hi, that's me.
The Queeny bitch, ladies and gentlemen. And that was the episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here today to talk about another film that is near and dear to my heart. Iconic in its own right. Iconic in its fashion, in its casting. Oh my God. Iconic casting. Mm-hmm. One of my all-time favorites, The Devil Wears Prada.
I feel like she's more of a Gucci girl, but...
Anyway, so my first question, did you read the book?
No.
Did you know that there was a book? No. Oh, there was a book.
I read a lot of books. That one never came across.
I have not read it, actually, but my bestie...
Was it a book first?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The Devil Wears Prada is a book first, and my friend Valerie, she's my friend, Valerie. Yeah, she read it. She told me that it's very similar to the movie, but there are a lot of areas where, like, her relationship with the friend, you know, the friend with the art gallery. Mm-hmm. In the book, that friendship is very different because in the book, that friend like has to get an abortion at some point, and like it's way more dramatic. It's a way bigger.
There's more in there.
There's a lot more there, and like there's more with the boyfriend, and there's more with kind of the social aspect, I guess. Right. And I feel like the movie, it touches on the friendship aspect, but it's really only like 3 or 4 scenes.
Yeah.
And I think that that's enough for what the movie is.
Well, because the movie needed to get through time, you know, because it was like, I mean, at the time that it came out, you couldn't just sign on for a 10-episode Netflix series. Yeah. You know, because you had, like, movies were the only ways to get things seen, because it was
Devil
like that
Prada
or
would be
network
such a
television.
good Netflix series.
It would be amazing. But you couldn't do that back then, so you had to just fit it in 2 hours.
All right, wait, now we're on a, hold on, okay. If we were to, I'm so sorry that I have to say this, because I do think the casting is perfect, but if we were to recast The Devil Wears Prada to be a Netflix series today, who is Andy and who is Miranda?
Miranda would be Glenn Close.
Bring the mic closer.
Speaking of close. I would say Miranda would be Glenn Close.
Really? You think Glenn Close would do a better Miranda Priestley than Meryl Streep?
No one's going to do a better.
You don't think Meryl Streep would reprise her role for a Netflix series?
I think she would.
Okay.
But I think if you're recasting it, you need everyone to be different.
Okay.
Because if you're, you could do it. We would believe it and we'd be fine because Meryl Streep is the queen of all acting.
Absolutely.
No one can beat her.
I do think Glenn Close would bring a very, like, Meryl Streep's Miranda Priestley is very subtle.
Yes.
It's very calm. Mm-hmm. We know that Glenn Close can do villain. We've seen her in Cruella. We've seen her in Fatal Attraction. Yes. We've seen her in that one. What was she in? Oh no, that was Kate Winslet in Divergent. What was Glenn Close? She was like the villain in some like space futuristic.
She was also that I forgot which one it was, where she was like the high-powered lawyer.
Yeah.
And she was like a psycho boss.
Yes.
She was very good in that one.
I think
she was a little more crazy in that,
I think she would be a more over-the-top Miranda Priestley, which I don't think is a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
But I think that part of what makes Miranda's character so iconic is that subtle, quiet power. She doesn't have to yell.
Yeah.
She does not have to raise her voice 1 decibel.
Because that's not elegant.
It's not.
Yeah.
And she's like the picture of elegance.
She talks like this because that's how you would in a fashion house. I don't think Anna Wintour would ever yell, so
that's
why
all.
would I do it? That's all.
Yeah. It's just like that beautiful, quiet, amazing power. So, all right. So I like Glenn Close as a new Miranda, as a newer take on Miranda. And Andy.
Rebel Wilson. Queen Latifah.
Be serious. Who is our Andy Sachs? Because it should be somebody who actually looks 22. I think that's important because Anne Hathaway, although she does kill it in this role, I think she does a very good job of being this very sweet, kind of naive, but like, you know, I
think Zoe Saldana would kill it.
Zoe Saldana would kill it.
She's older, but she looks really young.
But she is already so gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's so gorgeous. Like, this has to be somebody...
It would be hard to say that she's the fat girl when she's as tiny.
But you wouldn't do like an 80 Brian and just like go, because she's so funny and she's so comedic. Like, you couldn't, like, it would have to be somebody who truly could look average, because that's the whole
she's too pretty
thing, is that this is supposed to be
right
an average looking woman,
right? Because like Anne Hathaway is absolutely gorgeous, but they did a good job of making her look average.
I mean, yeah, a haircut and an outfit really do go a long way, but she obviously has... She's a beautiful woman. She has a very natural, like, beautiful, symmetrical face and the natural ruching of the cheeks. You know, she's lovely and gorgeous. The ruching. But you give her, like, this hair with, like, the little bangs that nobody cares. And she just, you know,
well, we saw that she could do it from the Princess Diaries. So that was, like, the whole thing.
That was even more over the top.
She's been in a lot of glow-up movies.
Dude, when I straightened my hair for my birthday, like, I literally, like, when they finished and I looked in the mirror, I was like... A princess.
Here she is.
In Paolo's hands.
Yeah, it turns out all she needed was a flat iron.
Yeah. She needed a relaxer. Fine. Yeah, she was... Yeah, they took off her glasses and straightened her hair. Yeah. Is what they did.
It was like, boom.
The Princess Diaries is also going to be a day. That's a different day. That's a different day. That's a very different day, but that's a good one, too. All right. Okay, so... I have a theory that I've shared with you a little bit, but I've thought about this a lot.
Yes, lay it on me.
We've talked about the villains in movies and how, you know, I think the obvious choice for a villain is obviously Miranda Priestley. Andy is the protagonist. She's trying to get through this internship, basically an internship, a job, whatever. And Miranda is just, you know, sabotaging her at every turn, and she's like evil and angry, right? I don't see it that way now that I'm 33 years old and I have interned at many places. I have had so many different bosses. To me, the villain of this movie is Andy Sachs. She is the absolute worst.
Okay.
She sucks.
Okay.
And I will die on this hill.
Okay. I agree. End of episode. Yeah, I mean, she definitely sucks, for sure. I don't know. I feel like it's like between her or the boyfriend.
Everyone says. I feel like I've heard that a lot. That Nate is really. Well, it's a sneeze. No, I don't. Oh, it's going away. I hate being sick.
Wow, that sneeze is such a tease.
That was a sneeze tease. That was a lot. All right.
But what was the sneeze wearing?
It was asking for it. Jesus. Woo.
Okay, so Andy is the villain. I see it for sure. And I think Nate is kind of the villain because she's obviously trying to do something with her life.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I'm going to wait till you're done because you're probably fucking up the audio.
No, it's fine.
Your cold is so selfish.
Yeah, well. It's so cold, it's hot. Right. Go on.
So I feel like she's trying to do something with her life, right? Like she's trying to become a writer in New York City, which is not easy.
Yeah. It's really stupid. Let's just say it. It's very stupid. Also, she went to Northwestern University.
Oh, she's from Chicago?
Well, I don't know if she's from Chicago, but she tells us that she graduated from Northwestern University, which is in Evanston, Illinois. Yeah. Which, if we will recall, is the town in which the iconic story of Mean Girls
we haven't talked about that in so long.
Takes place. I just think it's important to note that these Evanston bitches be out here ruining lives and shit. I think it's important that we make that very clear. Okay.
No, but I feel like she was trying to get something done, and so she took on a very demanding job.
Yes.
And within a few months, he's just like, I don't even know you anymore. And
you look pretty now.
And also, he's trying to be like, well, my job's not that important. It's not taking over my life. He's a chef.
Yeah.
Have you ever met a chef?
He would be working insane hours.
Insane hours.
So,
and he's a sous chef,
which
means he's someone's bitch. So he's getting
yelled at.
Railroaded.
In New York.
Yeah.
In New York. We've seen The Bear.
No, I don't have ambition. I'm just a sous chef in New York at a fine dining establishment.
So we can say safely that with the hours that Nate very likely works, and we've seen from Andy's internship, she's there at 2 a.m. writing these emails, waiting for the book. They probably are not seeing a lot of each other.
Right, but they probably don't have the most dissimilar schedules either.
That's fair.
They're both working crazy hours. She's there till 2 a.m. So is he.
So is he.
Right? So it's just like, okay, how do you not get this? And then every time he's just like, I just can't believe you weren't there for my birthday. It's like, she was doing something.
I can't believe you were there for your birthday. You work at a restaurant.
Yeah, you took off
for your birthday? What are you, 5? Seriously. So this is okay, but here's why I think Andy is the villain. And I'm not coming at it from an emotional relationship standpoint. Right. I'm coming at it purely from a professional standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
It is this moment where on her very first day, we all know the iconic cerulean lecture. Mm-hmm. When she looks at the 2 belts and she has that scoff. And when I very first saw the movie, I was totally with Andy where I'm like, these 2 belts are exactly the same.
Right.
Get over yourselves, fashion industry. Like, you're totally on page with Andy, right? But then Miranda, I see. You think this has nothing to do with you, but what you're blithely unaware of. And then goes in the whole thing with the Yves Saint Laurent and the military jackets, and then and she's giving this very in-depth lecture about the history of fashion while simultaneously, I think we need a jacket with this, and like doing her job while she's just off the top of her head. Like, she knows this industry inside and out, and she is putting Andy in her place. That sweater was chosen for you by the people in this room from a pile of stuff.
Yeah.
And like, she is absolutely right. But if I am in my, 50s, 60s, I have worked my entire career, 40 years of work and fashion to be the editor-in-chief of the top, a legendary institution of a fashion magazine. Because I believe that Runway is supposed to be like
it's supposed to be the top. It's supposed to be
it's the parallel to like a Vogue, right? Like, she's like an Anna Wintour,
right?
Is what this character and dynamic is.
100%.
And if I have worked that hard and she's now held this job for likely over a decade, at least 2, and she is the person, and this is her career, and you have a 22-year-old girl.
Right.
Because Andy just graduated from Northwestern University.
So she's 22 or 23, somewhere around there.
She is young.
Yeah.
And she has moved to New York, and she's going to show up. Oh, I've never heard of Runway. I'm not a fashion person, and I know what Vogue is.
Right.
I know who Anna Wintour is.
She's never heard of Runway. Also, the fact that you're going to then go into a fashion magazine.
Wearing that.
Well, wearing that, and also then laugh at the actual work they're doing.
Yeah,
like, they're doing a thing, and you're just like, it's like, I'm sorry. Do you know where you're at right now? Like, if I'm at Vogue and they have 2 different belts that are slightly different but a little similar, I understand their job is like to pour over the details, and you're laughing at it. Like, I would have been a Miranda.
I would have fired her.
Oh my God.
I would have absolutely fired her. Because now that I am 33, which is not that old, I have no patience for 22-year-olds.
At all.
Who just come in and they're like, oh, I see what's going on. I know how to fix this. I'm like,
no, you don't.
No, you don't know how anything works. You don't know how the world works. You don't know how often you need to change your tampons.
Me. And that's why you need me.
No.
Because I've been brainwashed like you old people.
Look, I think that there have been many positive changes made by Gen Z and by every younger generation. Like the millennials, we have made our contribution. Like every generation, I do feel like, will come into a workplace and the instinct is to try to improve upon it and try to try to make more efficient or to make more inclusive or to make more tolerant. I think all of that is reasonable. But for Andy to come in and scoff at just the very notion of the idea that the tiniest detail in a piece of fashion would matter at the most iconic institution of fashion in the world is like, you don't have to be here, you know?
Right.
You don't need to be here.
Right.
This is the most passionate I've ever been.
Oh no, I would kill someone. I would
throw it down.
I mean, and the reason I talk about Nate is like I've been in the fine dining industry for years and years and years.
Yes.
And when you're in a fine dining institution and you're running something that matters, you're running like an event, you have like a celebrity coming or something like that, those little tiny details matter. Yeah. You know, like where you put the fork here versus here is huge. The glass, they need to be all lined up. You need sight lines going across the table so everything's in the same place, uniform. Everything. So like I get it. Like you have to do that kind of stuff.
And I feel like when you're younger, because I used to work in special events as well, and we did a lot of event planning. And when you are in your early 20s, you know, you're doing like all the grunt work, like the mailing list, and you're doing this, and your boss is like, everything has to be perfect. And you're like, why, man?
Does it though?
Like, is anyone really gonna notice if it's off by like half a set? And I get that logic. I was like that too, where you're like, is anyone really gonna care?
Yeah, none of this matters.
And there has been a lot of changes similar to that. Like you used to have to wear like a 3-piece suit to work, and now people can wear like jeans and leggings, and it's like, no, I can do my job while not wearing a full-on suit.
Right.
You know, and I think there are some good changes there. Like that does make more sense to me. But also at the same time, when you show like a 22, 23, 24-year-old, like who's like, yeah, but why? Like, does it really matter? Is anyone going to notice? When you bring them into a world where everything is done to perfection, the tiniest detail, everything is accounted for and noted, they go, oh, that's amazing. You're like, yeah, this
is what we do.
That's what that level, that's why we care about that sight line, that half a centimeter, where that fork goes. That's why we put that much effort in.
Yeah.
Because all of those little details together makes a huge difference.
Yeah, when everything's perfect, people feel it.
Yes.
You know, because people look around, and if you can't see anything wrong, it actually, like, your brain tells you, relax. You're in a good spot.
That is what you said to me when you taught me how to do my eyebrows. When you got me, we went shopping at Ulta. Queenie taught me how to do my makeup like 5 months ago. I had no idea for 32 years of my life. I had no idea how to do any makeup.
I was like, here's how you fill in your brows.
Yeah, and Queenie took me to Ulta and was like, here's your palette, here's your liner, here's everything, here's the things.
She's like, we're going to Walgreens. I'm like, no, we're not. We're going to Ulta. It's like, but Walgreens sells cosmetics. I'm like, I mean, technically.
Yeah, she really ceruleaned me. Yes. She really, that's all.
I was her. I was just do you need anything else? That's all.
Yeah, like she really put me in my place.
Let's go to the counter.
And then you taught me how to do my makeup. But when we're filling in my brows, and you're like telling me like, oh, you go this way with it, and you like follow the line of your brow, and I'm like, is anybody gonna notice if I fill in my brows just a little bit when I'm on stage, far away from this? Like, who's gonna notice? And that's exactly what you said to me. They'll feel it. They'll feel it.
Yeah, they'll know. They won't notice that they won't notice that you did it. But if you took it out, they would notice that you didn't have it.
Yes. Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's that feeling, that vibe. And so Devil Wears Prada shows us, I think, a pretty reasonable portrayal of what that level of a fashion magazine, the inner workings, would really look like. There really is that level of perfection and that level of detail, as there should be, for what they're trying to do. Now, whether or not you think that fashion is stupid or whatever it is, I think, again, Stanley Tucci...
Well, that's separate, because like at the end of the day, is like, well... You knew what you were getting into, and you're here. So at least while you're here, pretend to care.
Put in an effort. Put in some effort. And that's that lecture that Stanley Tucci, as Nigel, has with her in the cut and paste whatever room, where he's like, you are not trying You know, like what they created here was better than art because you live your life in it. You know, you don't have to like buy a $2,000 white t-shirt because it was designed by, you know, Christian Siriano to be like, I'm too fat. Like, I'm wearing a crop top right now.
Right.
That's a fashionable choice.
Right.
Like, that's an in choice. You know, the way that you're wearing your poncho, like, the reason why we've chosen to wear what we've chosen is all a trickle-down effect of, like, we've seen other people wear things.
Vogue and Givenchy, they all do it first, right? Like,
And they do
it first, they do it best, and unless you're talking about makeup, in which case, stay away from fashion houses. But they that's a whole nother conversation. I have so many feelings.
What?
Oh, Dior, stop. If it's not foundation, just get out of my face. But
Tell them.
yeah, Gucci, too scented. But in general, like when you're talking about, like we're actually talking about clothes and things like that, yes, everything we do comes from those houses, you know, because they do it, someone sees it, celebrities start wearing it, and then people see the celebrities, and all of a sudden we want to emulate it, and then Cole starts finding brands to do something like that, and by then Vogue has already moved on, but we're all sitting there just like kind of like slowly. It just depends on like how far down the trail are you from effect. Like the real fashionable people are the one that are like super up to date. Vogue did it, now I'm doing it. Like we're the ones that are like, well, 2 years later, here I am, but like I don't care.
And here's where I believe Devil Wears Prada really gets it right in terms of the fashion, because the fashion is so important. That movie, can we look up how old that movie is?
Devil Wears Prada?
Yes, please.
The internet says we're out of Google.
Ooh.
We just gave out the last Google.
Oh no! How are we gonna know things? How are high school kids gonna finish their papers
That was one of my
without
favorite
AI?
thing to do in restaurants. Is like, can I have a water with no ice? Ooh, we just gave out the last no ice.
2006.
2006. Okay, so I
So
was a sophomore in high school.
17 years. So this is 17 years later. And the fashion, would you mind, Justin, searching?
Just getting images?
Just images. Just images. The fashion in this movie
It's so good.
I think almost
it's so well dressed.
almost 100% holds up 17 years later because they are so good with their fashion moments that they know, like, classic lines, obviously very high quality.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, it would all be puffer jackets right now.
well,
So everyone's in puffer
the
jackets.
only moment I don't love is this one with Emily and Miranda up in the top, where she's wearing this glitter sequin and Emily's wearing a shrug. That's a very of that time fashionable look. That I don't know would hold up as well today. But like, look at what Miranda is wearing here. Like a very classic collared shirt vest kind of look. Like Miranda, you know, is very in the purple when we first meet her. She's actually dressed down, but you can tell that everything is like expensive, well-made, high quality.
I feel like that is
tailored
of this day. Because these days, that's not really what I feel like they're going for now. I feel like now it's more about like the athleisure.
Yeah.
It's trying to look like everything's about being wearable. They're trying to make it like a little bit more like looking like what you would wear just around the house, but make it fashion.
Yes.
Which is very like what's because like I feel like at this time, definitely in the 2000s, everything was about status. So you want everything to look expensive. You want everything to look like you have more money than you do.
Sure.
And now it's more like spending a bunch of money while looking like you could just
Sure, but I will
renting that
say
apartment.
what never goes out of style is well-made, tailored to your body type.
True.
And just
Yeah, because
classic,
it can be baggy, but it still should be tailored.
classic colors.
Exactly.
Black and white will never go out of style.
Correct.
And there's a lot of black and white in this film.
But leather kind of did. Isn't that weird? Everyone always told us leather wasn't ever going anywhere. Leather is timeless, and now no one can wear leather anymore.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
And the look of leather is timeless.
Yeah.
People want to think that it's vegan. It's not. It's not. It's fucking leather. Deal with it.
Right.
If you like it, then like it. It's okay. The cow's already dead. You ate him for breakfast, but you won't wear him for dinner. Fuck you.
You're an
okay. Would you mind scrolling down, Justin? Thank you. A little bit more. Oh, the hair flip.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that hair flip. Oh, Lord.
I mean, it was so well dressed, and the makeup was amazing. So.
Oh, there's the belts.
Oh, there's the belts.
Completely different buckle.
They are very different buckles.
Completely different buckle.
They're like.
Look at that.
They're even slightly different shades.
Yeah.
One's even a brighter turquoise.
Yeah. Like, what the hell, Andy? How do you not see that? You see it, right, Justin? Yeah, you see it.
They're like, that's honestly, like, they're giving very different moments, too.
Yeah.
Like, those buckles, you would wear them with different outfits.
You would. You would. That is not the same belt.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, okay. Keep scrolling, my friend. Thank you. I want
I
more.
do love this, though.
At the
I love the
gala.
bust. I love that
Emily
Meryl
is
Streep.
Gorgeous.
I love Meryl Streep as a older woman in this is just look at my shoulders.
I mean, all three of them
so
are very regal,
right?
Very different fashionable moments. Like Miranda, this is a royalty.
Yeah, they made her so imperious.
Yes.
They did a very good job. It was in the makeup. It was in the hair. It was in the outfits.
No necklace.
Everything.
No necklace.
Because that would have been too much.
And
she knew when to stop.
Because that's the who said that famous, the last thing you put on is the first thing you take off. When it comes to accessory,
probably Jackie Onassis or something.
Accessorizing, or maybe
I mean that's fair, because at a certain point, like, she's got the earrings. What? I'm not actually royalty. I don't need to show off too much.
No,
I'm
but
here.
like this beautiful, and like Andy, and I think this is actually like. Maybe I'm reading way too much into it, but I think the necklace, like, this is sort of showing that Andy is becoming closer to Miranda.
Because they have very similar dresses, too.
Similar necklines. Yes. Andy's is more of like a junior version, but Andy's hair is also up, and it's also like more out of her face, and it's like this more regal neckline.
And this is the moment where Emily
She fails. And Andy is there.
Yeah.
And Andy saves the day.
And they're very subtly making her, like, she's got the updo, which was far more fashionable at the time, obviously took a lot more time to put together. She's got a much more similar dress. She does look more chic in this scene specifically.
Now, Emily has a gorgeous dress. She's wearing Valentino, for Christ's sakes.
Yes.
She tells us. And it is a beautiful dress. The bust is really cool.
It is gorgeous.
And like the necklace.
Top with where she's at right now, I would say that is my least favorite of those three.
I think she could have done without the necklace.
I agree.
And I think Miranda agrees.
Well, and they should have had her hair up.
Yes, they should have.
I think Miranda hated the hair.
And I think that this is kind of one of those moments where Miranda, again, like, she can sort of, she says that when they're in the limo in Paris, like, you can see beyond. And I think Miranda, she is so intelligent, this woman, and she knows fashion, and she can just look at these two characters walking into this ball, and she can see immediately that Andy understands simple, classic, clean, chic. And she can see that Emily likes fashion, but her choices, the necklace with that bodice, and there's a belted part, and the hair down, is not the same level that Andy's at.
Right.
Emily is like a fashion fan.
Right.
But Andy is
almost almost like she's sitting there is like, wait, she's new. How is she outdoing you?
I don't even know if it's a how. It's more like, oh, I see who is starting to really understand what this industry is about.
Right.
Like, Andy has really taken to heart these very basic, like, rules of fashion. And Emily, she wants to push the envelope and wear something interesting and cool and of this moment. But Miranda and Andy know that classic is timeless for a reason. And that is what is going to stand up against an extra accessory. The hair down is very 2000s with a layered bang. Like, Emily's is of this time.
Yeah.
Miranda and Andy, you could take those two of them and put them at a party today in 2023 in exactly the same look, and I think it would be just as chic.
Yeah. And I also love, and I just noticed this, Andy isn't even wearing earrings.
No.
Because she didn't need it.
She doesn't need it. She doesn't need the accessory. The dress is the accessory. And Miranda's got the drop earrings, but again, I love that she doesn't need a necklace. She doesn't need it. It's not about that.
Well, it's about the pristine, like, because if you're gonna show off your décolletage, show it off. Don't décolletage. Don't sit there and muddy it up with some necklace.
Ooh, can we click on the 4 frames of Andy on the left?
I want that shoe. Yeah, I want that shoe.
No,
just
not
like buy that for
okay,
me,
no.
someone.
click on Andy. Okay, so here I really want to look at. So this is also what I was thinking about how timeless some of these outfits are.
I love the belt on that, like, dark earthy green.
Yes.
Because, like, I've seen people, they wear that dress and it swallows them.
Yeah.
The way it falls at the bottom, but the fact that she just said, you know what, I'm going to find a belt of the same color and put that on, and now she has a shape.
Because that dress, in and of itself, it's still a dress that I see in stores. It's still a silhouette. It's not the most flattering. It looks actually like a very comfortable dress. That green dress looks like she could have bought that at Urban Outfitters. Like, the other looks look very high end.
It looks like she bought it at Urban Outfitters, but she's wearing it right.
Yes.
You know?
She's accessorized it well.
Yeah.
You know, she's got the purse with it. The shoes are really gorgeous. The necklaces, you know, the bracelet, the sunglasses, the earrings. She's doing a lot of actual accessories with that dress. Now, the prep school, this is right after the makeover with the Chanel boots.
Yes.
I don't love the prep school look, but I do think she could still wear that today.
I die for that look.
I don't.
It looks so good. I love the short skirt with the hip-high boots.
Yeah.
The whole thing, it's so tailored. It's so fitted.
I don't love the fabric of that skirt. I wish the skirt was like a black or just a white.
I mean,
like,
I can kind of get that, but I think
brown.
I like that it's, because I don't want it to all be black.
Okay.
I like that you have like a little bit of like an earthy tone coming out in it. And
I don't
feel
like her purse either, that green bag.
I'm not a fan of the purse.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I would definitely switch out the purse, but everything else for me is perfection on that.
But
I love the sleeve, although it's coming down a little lower than what it would normally be, like traditional.
The piping is gorgeous.
Yes.
On that blazer. Now, when we get to the James Holt party look.
Yes.
I love the necklaces. I love the short dress,
necklaces.
long jacket, boots, black tights. Like, that's a very cool look. That works today, 100%. And then when we have green coat, like, this is so classic Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
Like, that is a
very 50s and 60s.
Beautiful silhouette.
Yeah.
Never goes out of style.
No.
So chic.
And fits her beautifully.
Beautifully.
Like, up here, it's so fitted to her, and then it fans out at just the right spot.
I feel like I remember...
The shoes are on point on all of these photos.
I remember reading something about Andy, or about Anne Hathaway, saying that she did
Andy
steal
Hathaway?
that. She stole that green coat.
She should.
As well she should have.
Yeah. Also, for the one that we talked about first, that like kind of earthy green, the shoes kind of make it for me.
Yes.
It's the belt. The purse goes very well with it, and those shoes look amazing.
They're gorgeous.
I can't see like a lot of detail with them, but God, they look so good.
Can you scroll down a little bit, Justin? Over here, and then click on the first. Yes, that one. Thank you. Oh, I wish it was bigger.
Well, cancel everything.
Can we zoom in? Oh, no, it's getting pixelating.
Oh, well.
All right. Well, that white coat, that's important.
I do love that one. That was one of the ones in the montage.
Yes, it is. I don't love the hat, but the white coat is beautiful.
I love the hat.
Okay.
I love the hat. Well, I mean, it's very fashion. I don't know that I would just wear it normally, but it is very fashion.
My least favorite outfit is "You'll Go to Paris." The one with the hat that's my least favorite outfit. The sweater with and all the necklaces.
Oh no, I like that.
I hate it. I hate it so much. And I also
it's very like tomboy chic. I feel like it's very like it's giving like this almost like I'm a fashion newsie. I kind of feel, and I don't know. It like I like anything that gives me a reaction, and I felt a reaction when I saw that one. I liked that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin, could you click on this guy? Yes. Okay, so now let's compare, these are when she's like really in it. She's in this world, in this fashion industry, and this final look is her final look of the movie. Mm-hmm. She's quit her job. She's interviewing now for internships, and we're really seeing kind of how far she's come from lumpy blue sweater in the corner to
still chic, still matched her boots, very well fitted pants. Yeah. The pants actually look really expensive.
They do. Actually, they don't look that well fitted, but they do look expensive.
They do.
I don't actually love those boots either. But I like that.
But they're matched.
This is an outfit where somebody like has taken time to understand their body type, understand their personal style.
Yes.
And they are using fashion in a way to express that.
To express who they actually are.
Which is what the whole point of the movie is.
Yeah.
Like, I think
those boots are heels, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Which feels weird that she would actually just be doing that, because in this, she's like walking around New York.
But this is her interview outfit.
Oh, right.
She interviewed for that job. I would wear heels to an interview.
You would? Okay.
Yeah.
I should start doing that.
Yeah. And I really like that we've seen now the transformation of Andy, that she's gone from, wake up 6, to like in the midst of the fashion industry, and like she's fully immersed.
Which you can't do. The fact that like anymore is like the idea. Like I watched it recently, and the amount of times that they call Anne Hathaway fat in that, and I'm just like, girl, she's so skinny. And like since like the body positivity movement would have canceled this, but it was thank God it was made in 2006.
Yes. Because it was accurate. This is the whole conversation with like America's Next Top Model, and people talking about how problematic it is and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, first of all, I don't think America's Next Top Model as a TV show is problematic.
Right.
I think America's Next Top Model showed us an insight into the fashion industry.
Which is problematic.
Right. And I'd be willing to bet that most of the things that we find problematic about what ANTM exposed about the fashion industry are still actively going on to this day.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, now there is more of an inclusivity moment where like we are seeing like brands and stuff like actually having people who are bigger, which is great.
Sure.
But I mean,
but do we want to see that? Right. Ew. Am I right?
I mean, most of it, I would say most of it is probably still happening. Okay. I mean,
I'm sure.
But I mean, this was also coming out of the 90s, which was like the heroin chic era, when, you wanted to just look so emaciated and like broken inside, and that was like, oh my god, she's so pretty.
Andy goes from a size 6 to a size 4,
right?
Which, like, I think a size 4, while thin, is not. She's not a 00,
right?
A size 4 is a fine for her height and weight. Like, a size 4 isn't like emaciated, right? Like she's fine. She lost weight. She's a very stressful job. It happens.
Well, because like the size 4 was like the max out of what they had for everything.
Yes.
So all the, like, if you wanted to wear any of these great designers, you had to be a size 4 or lower.
Right.
So then it was finally like, oh, you're a 4? Finally, you're one of us.
You can join us.
But you're right at that line, bitch. You're right at that
It could go the other day tomorrow. One onion bagel and it's over for
One
you.
One muffin and you're out.
Oh my god.
Like carbs, really?
Okay. Let's all right. So that's, we've talked about now. I think Andy is the villain because I just see her now as this entitled 22-year-old who's just like, I know who I am. Right. Who the fuck are you people? It's like, you don't know anything.
Right.
Learn your place and do your job.
Well, and also just like she's wearing an ill-fitting sweater and her hair is a mess when she's coming in for an interview at a fashion house. Like it's what are you doing?
It's this or Auto Universe. Oh, poor me. Oh, life is hard. Ooh, yucky. Ooh, yuck. And like the other thing too, when Nigel she's coming, gird your loins, blah blah blah, with the whole and the flurry of people, running around, and Emily trying to replace herself and the whole kind of deal. Everybody there is doing their job. They're all there because they want to be there.
Yeah.
They want to be doing that job. They want to be in that place. And they are all working really hard.
Right.
Andy makes valid points that like, oh, so what? They can spend another $100,000 on something that probably looked fine to begin with. It probably did look fine to begin with. But the whole point is that we're not going for fine. That's the whole thing.
Right.
That's why it's as big of a deal. It wouldn't be that successful of an industry if the majority of the population didn't care.
Right.
You know, like.
Right.
So I'm very much like.
Well, yeah, I mean, people live
get your
for
shit together,
Vogue.
Andy.
I mean, voguing came out because of Vogue.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, it has been culturally relevant for decades and decades and decades. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I get it. And then, like, she was kind of the villain for that reason. I get that.
She
like,
wasn't doing her job. Or if she was doing it with like I'm better than this.
Well, but then she goes in saying like, I'm too good for this, blah, 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 blah. And then just like robs Emily of her Paris trip. And it was just like, okay, well, like 2 weeks ago you were saying you didn't care.
Yes.
So
I'm with Emily, but I'm also, I see why we're asking Andy to go to Paris with us because
she was better.
She is better.
She is better at the job than Emily was after she started trying.
Yes.
All of a sudden it was just like, oh, you know what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You do know, and you are starting to realize that this does kind of matter, that this is important, that these things are, and then her friends are dicks. I think that's been talked to death, though, about like the scene with the phone and the dragon lady, and she goes to James Holt's friend.
Yeah. I mean, I would have killed my friends.
Yeah,
if my boss was calling and you're trying to play hot potato with my phone, I'm like, oh, I would have just punched you.
When her job is that high profile.
Right. That high profile, that high pressure. She's obviously having, and she just gave you a bunch of gifts. Like, she just gave her friend like a $1,400 more
purse.
than that. It was like a $4,000 purse.
Yeah.
And then it just gives it to her, and then it gives everyone gives the other guy like expensive perfume. And then her boss calls. She's like, oh, do you want this? It's like, do you want more gifts?
Yeah. What are
Where
we
do you
doing?
think this came from?
Like, what do you think?
Right.
You're
gonna walk around with a Birkin bag tomorrow, and you're gonna play hot potato with my phone. That's cute.
Yeah. No, I am. Those are some really shitty friends. Okay, so I would like to talk about James Holt's collection.
Yes.
I would like to talk about James Holt's spring collection. Mm-hmm. Justin, would you mind typing in the search box James Holt's spring collection? I would like to see if...
Are we going to talk about the bow dress?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, the reason why...
I want to see the bow dress.
Oh, gosh, it did not come up. Okay, just type Devil Wears Prada James Holt? I don't know. No, because then it'll just be the actor.
James Holt. Yeah, no. Devil Wears Prada, James Holt.
Try that.
Dress.
Oh, no.
Is it down there? Yeah, just type in dress.
Yeah, type in
after.
Dress. Yeah, good call. There it is.
There it is.
There she is.
But it's small. Oh, do this one.
There it is. All right, so.
Look at Nicole Kidman did it later in a different color.
She did do it later. Good for her. Good for her. She's like, no, this can work.
Actually, and then they have Miranda next to it. Like,
So here's why I wanted to bring up this, because this was also kind of the turn in the movie where she invites Andy to bring the book. And that's like Andy's next biggest screw up, of course, but
yes,
this is that kind of moment. Like, her opinion is everything. And James Holt, he theoretically designed that red dress for Miranda to wear at that gala when she is wearing this regal black, beautiful, whatever. Originally, that was the dress that she was supposed to have worn. James Holt designed that red monstrosity for Miranda Priestley to wear at the gala event of the year. What?
Was that actually for her to wear?
That's what he says. That's what he says in the movie.
Okay.
Now, this is the piece that we have designed specifically and exclusively for you.
Okay. Yeah.
How personal. And I'm sure it would be incredibly intimidating.
Right.
If I'm a fashion designer and Anna Wintour, I have to design the outfit that she is going to wear for the number one, gala event, like the biggest deal party of the year kind of deal. Like that is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But that is objectively terrible, James.
Well, yeah, I think the bow just needed to be more starched. The bow looks sad. Like if the bow was actually like able, like I don't know, like what you would do, like maybe put like some wires in it or something where it actually goes straight. Even then, I would not give that to the top fashion editor in the world and say go to a gala in this. Like
can you scroll
it
down
feels
just
very
and
young.
Click on this. That pic. Oh, I thought maybe we could. No, okay.
You get to see
This one.
See, but Nicole Kidman's, it looks right.
Yeah.
Because that bow.
Because in Nicole's, they fixed it. They gave her a slit. There's no slit here. This is just a red curtain with a giant bow.
Well, they also made it it has more directionality. It's moving like this and it's not sagging. Like that's a saggy ass bow.
It's just a sad dress.
It looks terrible.
It really looks terrible. Oh, I'm so with Miranda. Like that is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But what I do love actually is the very beginning. This is like a little like a blink and you'll miss it moment, but like that attention to detail at the very beginning of this scene when he starts the fashion show and the actor, I totally forgot his name, but he also played the dramaturg in season 2 of Smash. Anyway, okay, fun fact. So he goes, okay, this season really began for me with a meditation at the intersection of blah, 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 like these streets in New York. And I was like, that is such a fucking fashion person. Like, this really began as a meditation while I was sitting in my car at the intersection of 2 streets. And I just feel like, how pretentious are
Oh my God, how New York.
Very cool.
Wow, I love that intersection. That intersection's so fashion.
You have thoughts about New York, don't you?
A little bit.
Yeah. So when you were in New York, did you see any people, anything that would come close to this world?
No, but I spent most of my time in Brooklyn,
Oh,
so I wasn't in Manhattan too much.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like if I was like on Rodeo's LA, but if I was on like Fifth Avenue, then I would be like, okay, cool. Maybe you get some of this. But no, when I was there, I saw mostly hipsters.
Okay.
A lot of hipsters.
All right. I have another question about some of the controversies surrounding this film. Her affair with Christian Thompson. Are we pro? Are we con? What do we think?
Well, I mean, her boyfriend sucked, so it made sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not being a whiny bitch, so...
And they also have taken some... It's been stated that they are going to take some space.
Right.
I do not think she is cheating.
Oh, no. When she actually did it, yeah, he broke up with her.
Yeah.
Like, he said, we're done, and walked away from her in a city street.
And then she went to Paris.
Right. If you tell me you're out and you walk away, I'm not any more responsible for what happens in this relationship because as far as I was concerned, we were done.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. Well, people say she cheated.
No, she didn't cheat.
I don't think she
didn't.
cheated.
She cheated a little bit before. Emotionally, you could see that she was like she was obviously holding feelings
flirting.
for her. She was flirting
But
a little
that's
bit.
not cheating. And I don't even think that
Right.
was emotional cheating. Because emotional cheating is when you have like a full on like relationship with somebody
You're kind of talking to them
outside of the physical.
as if they're your other.
Yes. You're sharing with them the things that
He was flirting. She kind of blushed for a second.
She was flirting with a hot guy.
And then her friend lost her shit on her.
Yeah, I flirt with hot guys all the time.
Right.
All the time. All the time. No.
All
no.
the time.
No, I don't think Andy's done anything wrong.
Yeah.
I
I feel like she obviously had an attraction to the dude at one point.
He's an attractive
But
guy.
she didn't act on it and she didn't do anything improper until her boyfriend dumped her.
Yeah.
And at that point, when the guy was then also in Paris and comes over, like, it's not like they eloped to Paris together.
No.
They just both were there for work.
And he did buy her dinner first.
Well, and what happens in another city? You know, can you really...
I mean, you can, but at least he bought her dinner first.
How about a different country? Then is it cheating?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you only have like an Illinois marriage license, so like...
We're not married in Europe. Well, that's a valid argument. One that I had not previously considered.
I mean, I don't think your driver's license works if you go to another country.
Andy and Nate are not even married.
No,
okay.
No, they're not.
They're college sweethearts.
If he liked it, he should have put a ring on it.
And he's a chef. Ew. Gross.
Yeah.
Andy, grow up.
Narcissists.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't talk about ego when it's like, you're a chef.
So Christian, so her affair with Christian, which, by the way, she wakes up in that hotel bed in Paris, and the first thing we see is that Andy is wearing a toe ring.
She was wearing a toe. Oh, that's so 2000s.
Yeah.
No one does that anymore.
That would be one of the most dated fashion moments in this movie.
Toe rings for Gen Z, toe rings got really big in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Everyone started wearing them.
When Kaylee was on, I asked her toe rings versus anklets. Yeah. We've had thoughts. What do you say? Toe ring versus an anklet?
Anklet.
Anklet?
I think anklet is much more elegant than a toe ring.
Kaylee was more on team toe ring, but she's also from Pittsburgh, so you know.
You can't trust her.
Ew. Trashy. No, I'm kidding. They're both terrible. Both of them. Absolutely both of them are terrible. Don't wear either.
I mean, I like an anklet if it's like an actual fashion moment. Like
Just
if you're
wear a
wearing
bracelet.
it, well, you also wear a bracelet. But if you're wearing the whole thing and you have the stilettos on and you're doing the whole feel and you have an anklet on there, I think that can be sexy. I think a toe ring, I don't think those words are supposed to go next to each other.
I agree. And plus they feel weird. I remember I tried one on once and I was like, this is
stupid.
Weird that I'm separating my toe. Like it's not what.
Well, and also, who's looking is like, oh my God, look at her feet. But she hasn't adorned them. Like, what do you...
I mean, there's a lot of guys on OnlyFans.
That's true. I guess if you're really into foot stuff, well, in the 2000s, we were really into feet.
I mean, Tarantino was like really at the top of his game.
He knew what he was doing.
He was a trendsetter in so many ways. But yeah, so Andy wakes up with the toe ring and she's late and she's getting dressed and she sees the runway cover. If Jacqueline Follet was the editor in chief, and she puts together this whole like they're trying to get rid of Miranda, and she's trying like everything in her power.
Right.
What do you think of the whole Jacqueline Follet and Kristen Thompson? Like, do you think anyone here has done really anything wrong?
No, I mean replacing someone who's been there for 20 years is not bad, and the fact that Christian Thompson is then writing an article about it. Well, he's a writer, so that's what he does. He writes articles.
She said she would bring Christian Thompson in to run all of the content. That's a huge job.
Right. There's like, what is he gonna do? Not take a huge job that is perfect for him in an industry that he's already kind of adjacent to.
But it's so weird. And this is another moment where I'm like, Andy, you're fucking 22. When she takes it so personally. Because Christian Thompson must be in his late 30s.
Right.
I'm hoping it's not more than that, but it might be. But he is at least 15 years older than her.
Right.
You know, and so that's also a little problematic.
Well, that's problematic, but like he's been in this industry.
Yes.
You know, he's been doing this for a while. He knows how it works, and it is how it works.
Let's give her just a little bit of age benefit of the doubt. Maybe she graduated. Maybe she's got a late birthday or an early birthday or something. Maybe she's 24 at this point. You know, like maybe she starts this internship job, whatever, at around 23, just to like kind of just to make it a little better. And then it's been almost a year, so it's reasonable to think that she would have had another birthday by now. So maybe she's about
still 23.
24 or 23. She's still very young, and that's like her age shows when she takes very personally that Christian, who is a freelance writer,
would take a steady job.
Yeah, would not do everything in his power to protect her boss.
Right.
Like, why would he?
Who he doesn't really know
or work for.
Right. He has no reason to be loyal to her.
Yeah.
Like, so, I get that she would then try to save Miranda, kind of. But I mean, whatever. Miranda is very good.
Is she trying to save Miranda, or is she trying to save her job?
I think she's trying to save Miranda.
Okay, I think you're right.
Because she's a young girl, and she's like, my boss is my friend. I need to go save her.
I don't even think it's her friend. Like, she defends her at the dinner, and she says, like, you know what? But if Miranda were a man, nobody would say anything except for how good she is at her job.
Which is true.
Yes.
It's just very true.
100%. And Andy has recognized that. That's Andy's growth, is that she has gone from, my boss is so mean to me, she never says thank you, to almost a year later, no. She is very good at her job. And if she were busy. And if she was a man, nobody would even bat an eye at her behavior or whatever.
And she knows she's a woman in this industry.
Yeah,
she knows she's a woman doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she was trying to protect her. I get it. I like the idea of having some level of professional loyalty. The idea, I mean, I don't think Christian did anything wrong, and she's like screaming at him. And it was just like, if anyone did anything wrong, it's Miranda's boss.
Irv Rabbits.
Yeah, Irv Rabbits.
Yeah.
Like, it was definitely, because he's the one who made the decision. Yeah. Everyone else is just like, well, scamming, if the decision's already been made, I guess I should come out on top and like smart.
Yeah. And then Nigel's whole piece in this, like, he just wanted to run James Holt's, like, empire. Like, he had no, he was, like, he's not even, like, doing anything to screw over anybody. He was offered a really great opportunity after years and years and years.
Well, he wasn't even a part of that at all, because he was doing that, and then he ended up getting screwed over because she took it away to save her.
Miranda gave Jacqueline Nigel's position, right, so that Jacqueline is no longer in the running for her position.
And she knew that Jacqueline was the only one who had the qualifications to even think about taking over.
Yeah, and it was absurdly overpaid.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, no one can do what I do. Maybe that's true,
Yeah.
She's iconic. Maybe nobody can do what she can do. Right. But I don't think Christian has done anything wrong. So when Andy like confronts it, and she's like, "I'm not your baby." It's like, who are you talking to?
I did like that line, though.
It's a good line.
I like the line because when someone says "babe" or "baby" too, it's just like, this was a one-night stand. Girl.
Sure, but like, it feels like "I'm not your baby" isn't as a response to "we just had sex." It's more a response to, no, you're fucking over my boss.
Yeah.
And I'm not here for it. And
turns out you're the enemy, and I don't sleep with the enemy twice. So.
It's like the whole.
Once just to see what's going on, but the second time is disloyalty.
It's for me. Screw me over. Shame on me. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, screw my boss over, and I'm going to hate you forever.
But she does try very hard to tell Miranda. She is very intent to tell her, and Miranda just has no reaction to it.
There's no time for her either.
All
she cares about is the Fresias.
If I see Fresias.
If I see any Fresias, I will be very disappointed.
And I do love Anne Hathaway's reaction. Like, he's gonna work for him or for her or something. And I just figured maybe if you could tell her, are those Fresians? What? No. No.
I told them very specifically, no Fresias. What do you smell Fresias? Are they here? What did someone do something?
If I see Fresians, I'll be very disappointed. Like. Okay, how good of a mom do we think Miranda is? Because she has twins. She has 2 twin daughters.
Oh, she's not there. Oh.
This movie is so important.
It is. We've spent so much time talking about fashion.
I mean, these twins are also little sociopaths.
They are.
I love how they prank Andy at the beginning. They're like, hey, you can bring the book upstairs. Emily does it all the time. Yeah, she does. Like, they're evil. They're awful. Evil. I love them.
Well, they're acting out because they don't have a mom.
Yeah, they're tiny little psychopaths. They want the 7th Harry Potter book before it is published.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I do love those little twins. But Miranda does not have time to raise them right. I would believe, I totally get why men keep leaving her, because she's sort of marrying these maybe high profile whatever guys to kind of give the twins just like for the image.
Right.
But she is her job.
Yeah.
She is her job. And I think that this whole movie, what it really boils down to is these are people who do their job. And you don't have to be your job.
Yeah.
It's like in comedy. I know a lot of comics who, like, they will sleep in their car. They will take any festival, and if they can't afford, like, they'll sleep in the car. They'll eat, nothing, trail mix for 3 days just so they can drive across the country to do 5 minutes of stage time because they are hungry for this. And that's, you do you.
Right.
But, like, you can also be successful without sleeping in your car and doing all there are other ways to do it. But this is a look at a group of people outside of Andy who are their job. Mm-hmm. And our job as the audience, we start out kind of judging them, but it's like, why are we judging these people? That's their choice. And they're doing all of this for us. We are the ones who are consuming their efforts.
Right. It's not like we're not benefiting.
Yeah. Look at us.
Yes.
We are benefiting.
Yes.
Look
at us.
So fashionable.
So fashionable.
So fashion forward.
We are fashion.
My 90s doll shirt. This is from Unique Vintage.
Yes. I like that.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. I think we should wrap it up.
Yes.
All right. Queeny, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, which is Queeny Comedy, Queeny Comedy. You can find me on YouTube, that Queeny, or as The Queeny Bitch, and then That Queeny Bitch on TikTok.
Beautiful. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at Ariel Julie Comedy. You can go to my Linktree, linktree.com/Ariel Julie Comedy. There you will find all of my links to all of my stuff. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.